Hello. All right, we are working on Module 1. We are working on Lesson 1 of Module 1. All right, let me go ahead and share my screen with you. This is what my screen looks like right now. Share that, minimize that out. And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to Schoology, and you're going to pull up this Student Guide M1. I've already got mine pulled up, but pull up Student Guide M1. It's going to open in the upper right-hand side of your screen right up there. And click on that and open up your student guide. Here's mine. All right, so the student guide, let's get that big, is at the top, contents, there you go, all the way to the top. So student guide, Microsoft Word Associate, we're in Module 1. All right, so we know that we have the right thing open. I have my navigation pane open. To open up your navigation pane, all you have to do is go to the bottom here at the status bar and just click on that page 1 of 106, and it will populate the headings. So we're doing lesson 1. We're going to hit all these topics. Then I'll make another video for lesson 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then at the end, you're going to have a test. Your test is called the Cornerstone. Now, don't be scared of the test. All of the tests are going to be open book until the very end. The last test is mimicked by these cornerstones. So when you take the final will be like a cornerstone and some multiple choice questions. So that's why we're going to focus on the warm-up questions and on actually knowing the module itself so that you'll be able to take the test at the very end. Now, the cornerstone is open book. And so all of these items in the cornerstone that ask you to do, here's the instructions, here's the tasks. So if you need to know how to do something, you can actually look for the quick access toolbar by searching navigation, and you can find it in the document itself. But that's going to be at the end of the module. Let's go to the beginning. I'd like you to take a moment and put me on pause and actually read the lesson 1, Getting Started with Word. It's going to have some great things in it that I'm going to kind of skip over. But you reading it is actually going to help you retain the information. And so I do encourage you to try to read it first, put me on pause, and just kind of go over the document so that you're going to be more prepared to absorb the information. So I assume you already have pushed pause. You've already looked at the module 1, lesson 1, and let's go ahead and do it together. So welcome to Word. You're going to be identifying commands and groups. You'll be able to identify the locations of where the commands are. Basically, this is a perfect opening lesson for Microsoft Word because it's going to go over how it actually works. All right, warm-up questions. I'm going to read the warm-up questions to you, and I'd like you to prepare answers for it, and then I'm going to go over the answers with you. So first, number 1, which of the following items do most people commonly use the Word application to create? Number 2, which of the following ribbon tabs are unique to Word? That is, these ribbon tabs are not found in other applications. Number 3, which option hides the commands on the ribbon and displays only the names of the tabs? Number 4, which of the following statements best describes the features of Word? And number 5, the command you use to manage the display and layout of the ribbon and the ribbon tabs. So just take a moment, jot down your answers. If this is a teacher-led class, I suggest that you go over the questions and try to figure out what most of the class thinks, and then put me on pause for a second. And then when you come back, I will be going over the answers. Number 1, which items do people most commonly use the Word application to create? Well, Word is used to create documents to distribute, such as letters, brochures, and social media posts. Spreadsheets is mainly Excel. Slides is usually going to be PowerPoint. And database is going to be Access, which is another Microsoft property that we usually don't cover in high school. So documents are what Word is all about. As a matter of fact, when you open up this document, if you go up here, you can see it's called Student Guide, and at the end of it, it's .doc. It stands for documents. So all Word files are called .doc because they are documents. So that's what we're going to be working with, are documents. Number 2, which of following ribbon tabs are unique to Word? Well, design and review are very common throughout Microsoft. References are really only in documents, so therefore it's only in Word, but views in every other Microsoft property application. Insert and mailings. Well, mailings looks like documents, and that's true. But insert, if you've ever done a PowerPoint before, that's how you get the pictures in. So insert's pretty common. So the answer is D, references and mailings. Number 3, which option hides the commands in the ribbon and displays only the names of the tabs? Which option hides the commands on the ribbon and displays, hides, and ribbon? C, auto hide ribbon. Number 4, which of the following statements best describes the features in Word? Well, use the navigation pane, use the paragraph group, use the formulas tab, or use document formatting. Everything is correct but C. C is the only one that's incorrect. So it should be A, B, and D for this answer. Number 5, the command you use to manage the display and layout of the ribbon and the ribbon tabs. That answer is ribbon display options. And we're going to cover that in the first topic. I'm going to go ahead and X out of my navigation to give me a little bit more room so that you're going to be able to see. And I'm going to go ahead and go down here. I'm going to zoom it in just a little bit more so it's a little bit easier for you to read. You should have this open in another window. So you should have this accessible to you. I hope that you've read it. I hope that you're following along well. We're going to talk about the Microsoft Office Backstage view. We're going to talk about the Tell Me feature. And we're going to watch this little video about Word.
Your best work begins with an idea. And we'll show you how Word brings your ideas to life with collaboration, editing tools, and design. Start composing in your own words, and then format text with themes. If you'd like to collaborate, share your document on OneDrive with a click. Then chat, comment, and co-author documents to work with others at the same time. You can even make Skype calls from your document to brainstorm on the spot. While review and track changes, keep everyone on the same page. Polish your words with powerful proofing tools and style suggestion from Editor. And with a web browser or the Word mobile app, you can view and edit docs from wherever and whenever doc strays. Learn how to bring out your best writing with Word. Let's get started.
All right. Let's get started. So pleasant. This is the Word interface. We're very used to the Word interface. We see it all the time. And the Word interface has some elements that I need you to know the proper words for. The Microsoft test will be referencing commands, tabs, and groups. So the first time, tabs are these doodads up top right here. File, home, insert, design, layout, references, mailings, review, view, help, draw. Now, table design and layout, that's only in here because these are currently being used in the student guide. So the student guide is locked, so you can't edit all this stuff here. That's why this is in gray. But it does have tables and does have layouts. Those are called contextual tabs. They only pop up when you need them. If we were going to insert a picture, the picture would have a picture format, like this is a picture. So then the picture format tab clicks up because I clicked on this picture. And this contextual tab will help me edit the picture if I need to edit the picture. But those only pop up when you need them. There's a handful of those that pop up when you're working with Word, but they aren't always static. They're not always there. Let's jump back and go to home and click off that picture. Now, these are the ones that we're used to. So these are the tabs. Now, all the tabs are kind of organized in a way where a little bit of common sense takes place. If you want to design the entire document, you hit design. If you want to work on mailing the document out, it has recipients and how you start mail merging. If you want to work on the layout and how orientation or how the text is wrapped or even the spacing, that's underneath layout. Home has all your basic ones. And so we're going to work a lot with home, especially here in the beginning, and kind of knock out understanding how to use these things. So those are the tabs. Then each tab has groups. Those groups are on the bottom: clipboard, font, and paragraph, styles, editing, voice, sensitivity, and editor are all groups. And inside the groups are commands. So clipboard by itself doesn't do anything. You can't do anything with clipboard. You can't even click on font. You have to click on the commands to make it work. So there's a really good element right here that goes through it again. So here's the tabs: insert. 2, these are the groups, and 3, these are the commands. So lock that in. We'll be discussing that a lot, especially in this first lesson. Now, really basic how to do some Word stuff. This is the working area. So when you open up Word, your cursor is going to be blinking right here, a few spaces down, leaving room for a header and leaving room for a footer. So I want you to kind of think about a normal sheet of paper with the lines on it that you use in school all the time. You know, you have that white space on top and then where your lines start. Word does the same thing for you. It leaves a little white space on top, and then to kind of the cursor is basically sitting on that first line. Working area. All right, window management. You should know how to do this, just common sense, but you do need to know this is the minimize button. So the minimize button brings it down and it makes it go away. So it ends up down here in the bar that I'm going to have to pull back up again. Then you have the restore down button. The restore down button restores it. You still keep it. It just gets smaller. This is a great tool if you want to open up 2 documents at a time. You can actually do one on this side of your screen and then a second on this side of your screen. This is going to work out well when you do that cornerstone and you need to reference the student guide. So you can have the student guide open in half of your screen and then the document you're working on the other half. If it is in restore down, you can hit maximize. Maximize brings it to the screen that we're used to. And then, of course, close, which I don't want to hit close because then I have to go back and reopen it. All right, title bar. This is your title bar. Title bar is blue and it's on top. We will learn how to change it from blue to another color later on, but right now let's leave all of our colors the same so that we can be all on the same page. The title bar's got some options up here that you can edit, and we are going to edit some of those. You have the user, there's me. So what's really great in Office 365 is we keep our information on the cloud. So you can open up your Microsoft Word from the library, from any classroom, or even from your own house. Just by logging on, you're going to be able to get all your information. So that's why we're going to save everything to the OneDrive. OneDrive will come with you because it's stored in the cloud. If you just stored it to this computer, it would just save in this computer. And we don't want to just save it in this computer because we want to access it in other places. That's why last video, we created a folder in the cloud in the OneDrive in order to use, and so we can save all of our documents there. So while we're talking about that cloud and being in Office 365, and your name should be up here at the top, let's go ahead and hit File and hit Save As. I'm going to get to the point where I do this really quickly in later videos. We're going to save to the OneDrive, and the folder that we created for this is Microsoft Word Imagine Orient. So click on that. All right. We should have student guides and M1 created already. If you don't, I will bring you through it really quickly. All you have to do is hit new folder, and then you can create your own folders. but we should have student guides and M1 created. Let's click on student guides. Student guide M1, that's what we're working on now. If you don't have that saved, go ahead and hit the save button and save student guide M1 in this folder. It's important that you keep this organized so that way you'll be able to reference it quickly. And now, because you have it in here, for some reason you can't access Schoology, or you can't access whatever file that, however you got the file, then you'll be able to have it for yourself. It's going to go up. All right, so the two folders you need are M1 and student guides at this time. Since I already have mine saved, I'm going to just exit. But if you hit save as, this button will come on and you'll be auto saving, which is fine. All right, Office 365. If you want to search something, tell me what to do is up here. So if you need to search something, you can search whatever you need up here in that bar. That's part of the bar up here, the title bar. You also have some rulers. The rulers are right here, the one with the numbers on it. The rulers will help you if you need to make a like something in a picture frame that needs to be like, 8 by 10, and your piece of paper is regularly 8.5 by 11. You can use the rulers so that you can make sure it's the right space. You have scroll bars. I usually call them sliders, but we probably need to refer to them as scroll bars. That's on the side, and you'll have one on the bottom if your document is big enough or you've zoomed in enough. Status bar is at the bottom. It tells you cool things like what page you're on, how many words are in the document, and if you click on it, it gives you more details. There are 19,723 words in this document. All right, text predictions are on. That helps you with the date. If you just put like the date, start typing the month, it'll jump in and say, hey, do you want this? Just hit tab and then it'll insert automatically. It's a really nice thing to have. Let's go ahead and look at the other things that are on this status bar while we're here. You have 4 ways of viewing. One is focus mode. Focus mode is usually best for reading. It kind of turns it into a Microsoft Kindle. You can tell it's a little brighter. You can tell it's a little sharper, and it's better if you're reading like a whole book or a whole chapter. And so when you're reading these student guides, I suggest you click it in here just because all you're going to be doing is reading, and you're not going to need access to the editing tools. I'm going to hit escape, and I'm back to the print layout, which is what we usually work in. There's also a read mode. The read mode is convenient if you are looking at 2 pages at a time. You can just flip through it much like you would a book. And so the read mode is kind of good. It just gives you more things to look at. And you can compare and contrast, like if there's a picture on this page and you want to look at the picture while you're reading. So it just gives you 2 pages at a time. Now the web layout, because Microsoft Word can help you create your own websites. So the web layout would be if you're working on a website as opposed to working on a document. So that's what that's used for. You've already seen the zoom. We've already done the zoom. So I'll skip that part and go ahead and move on. The ribbon. We are going to be working in this ribbon. Ribbon is this gray area here with all these little pictures and all these little icons in it that has the tabs, the groups, and the commands. All right, so let's explore the ribbon. So the first time that you open a Word application, you'll see those ribbons. You'll see those tabs, you'll see the groups, you'll see the commands, and you also have things in your insert tab. That's where you have like your headers and footers, and you can add tables and you can add pictures. So insert really insert thing into documents. Those are the big 2. Your ribbon display options are up here. So if you wanted to work in Word and you've already created all of the edits, you've already created all the spacing and the font, and you just want to see more space, go up here to this little box with the arrow in it. And the good thing about Word is if you don't know what something is, and you just scroll over it, it'll tell you what it does. And this is really helpful, especially in the home page. When you don't know what something is, if you scroll over, it'll tell you what it is. So you always have that at your disposal. So we're going to go up here to this box with this arrow that goes up, this ribbon display options. There are 3 options. We are in the show tabs and commands. That is the default. It always will start there. And that basically it starts like there because you want to like get started. Go ahead and set up your document. You want it landscape, or you want a portrait, or you want to write in a certain font. So we start there and we start at home. Show tabs is a little bit more advanced. You kind of need to know what's in the tabs. And so you're just able to go up here. And then once you click on the tab, it'll open up. And then when you click away, it goes away. Then you have the auto hide ribbon. So I'm going to go back to show tabs and commands. I'm going to hit auto hide ribbon. That takes everything away. This is just typing away. I don't need anything else up there. I just want to get it out of my way and clear my head so I can work on my document. So knowing those 3 options, it's really important. I'm going to go ahead and go back to the default. Oh, let me show you that one thing real fast. So when you're auto hide ribbon, if you just come up here and click, it will come back up. And then we click off, it goes away. So that is an option. All right. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to set it back to the normal way that we're used to seeing it. Backstage view. So what I would like you to consider is Microsoft Word is like working on a sheet of paper. And so if you have your sheet of paper, then you can edit it, design it, you can insert, you can, work on it as a mailing and try to, divide up and write the address on the letters and things like that. That's all what the tabs do, with the exception of 2. There's 2 tabs that are different. The first one is help. And this is just Microsoft stuff. So you can get support, you can get a training on Microsoft Word, kind of like we're doing now, or you can see what's new when Microsoft adds new features. You can just tell them how you feel if you want to. So the help tab really is kind of independent of everything else. That's why it's at the end. I have draw added to mine. You might not have draw on yours, depending on what type of Microsoft software you have. The second one that's unique is file. File gives you what's called the backstage view. So the backstage view is not necessarily what you're going to put on the sheet of paper, but it's what you're going to do with the sheet of paper. It's you're going to print it, you're going to share it, you're going to save it, you're going to export it. There's also some really cool options down here that you can change how it looks. You can change the way it displays. You can change the accessibility if you need some help. You can change the language. So all of those items right there are available to you in the options. But we're going to skip over that and we're going to continue on and get to our first try it. So our first try it is L1T1 try locate document starter doc. All right, so let's find where that is. In my class, we have it in our Schoology. So I'm going to reference my Schoology and look for L1T1 try locate. So here's my Schoology. L1T1 try locate element starter doc. There it is. So I'm going to click on that. It's going to open up in this window. All right. So the first thing that we need to work on is trying to find where the word commands are located. So justify, feedback, research, we're going to do all these. I'm going to do the first one with you, and then I'm going to give you a chance to put pause and then work on it yourself, and then come back and join me and I'll give you all the answers. So the first command or group is justify. So if you go through, we know it's not a tab, but it's going to be in one of these tabs. If you go all the way through, you'll notice you don't see justify anywhere. As a matter of fact, if you read every command, the word justify doesn't appear either. So we're going to have to use our scroll over technique to kind of find out where justify is. So it's not there, it's not there, it's not there. It happens to be right here. Justify. So if you wanted to justify quickly, you could hit Control-J. That's called a keyboard shortcut. We'll do more of those later. But justify will put the text evenly. So it's going to look like almost like a Jenga castle of words in the middle, because it's going to justify the elements in order to fit a certain area. So justify is clearly a command. So go ahead and type command here. And it is in the Home tab. and it is in the paragraph group. All right, so now I want everything that we do to look professional. So whenever possible, we're going to keep things on one page. We're going to make sure we don't have any spelling errors. And since it's asking for tab and or group, the word home and the word paragraph actually appear up here. So I'm going to click on home. I'm going to just double click it. And that's going to bring up my quick access bar. I'm going to go ahead and bold home. I'm going to double click on paragraph. I'm going to bold paragraph. That just makes it look a little bit more professional. While we're here, let's go ahead and do something else. Let's go ahead and put our name on it. So we're going to go to Insert and Header. And we're going to go down here and hit Edit Header. If you edit header, that's going to open up, basically, like I said earlier, that white space that's present on a normal line sheet of paper. It's going to open up that area. Everything that we do, we want to put our name in the upper right-hand side. So I'm going to go to Home, and I'm going to go right here in the paragraph group to something called Right Align. That's going to put Word Commands Worksheet that was already present in the right-hand side. And we'll hit Enter, and I'm going to ask that you put your name on your paper. My name is Shields, so I'm putting that. And my first name is Jamie. If you are working in a particular class, go ahead and put the date. So the date I'm working on this is 3/8/23. Easy for me to say. And your period. So I'm going to put period 0 because I'm making this for several classes. And so I'm going to just use period 0 when I do it. Now that we're in the header, look, another contextual tab pulled up. So it will help me edit my header and footer. I can make it smaller. I can make it wider. I can add page numbers. There's a lot of cool things that we'll get to here. But for right now, we just want to leave it simple. See this big X? That big X is there because you can't access the document if you're in the header. You can't access the header if you're in the document. And so we need to switch and tell Word that we're no longer working in this big white space. We're going to go back to those lines and we're going to hit close, which will do that for us. All right, so let me do feedback for you. Feedback's easy. So feedback is actually in the help. We looked at that earlier, the smiley face. It is a command. And it's located in the help tab in the help group. I want to keep that G lowercase because I want to keep consistency. And I'm going to double click help, bold that out, double click help, and bold that out. All right. So I'm going to let you work on this. Go ahead and push pause and get that done. And I'll be here waiting. All right, so I guess you're back with the video. So let me go ahead and pull up the answers to this document. The answers to the document are right here. All right, so research is a group. It's in the references tab. So if you go to the references tab, research is located right there. Chart is a command. It's in the insert tab. So insert tab. It's a command, so it's up here. Insert tab, illustrations group. Oh, where's the illustrations? Oh, there it is. Oh, there's chart. Okay. Split is a command. It's in the view tab. Let's go to view tab. It should be in the window group. Split's right there. Split's kind of cool. So if you're working on a document and you need to look at 2 of them, you can do split tab and look at half of it here and half of it here. Kind of cool. All right. Ink editor. Ink editor may not have been in yours, but it's in the draw tab and it's the old, it's a command. It's in the convert group. So it should be here, but it's not. That's because Microsoft is always updating and even their own instructions aren't the same throughout every word. So that's going to happen, little small things are going to happen, but all in all, it's pretty much consistent, but there will be small tweaks like the editor that will pop up throughout this course. Table styles is a group, and it's in the table design contextual tab. So that's tough. So if you click on here, the contextual tab, table design will pop up. And then in table design contextual tab, it says table styles. So that's a little curveball. You might have had a hard time with that one. Start mail merge, not as hard. In mailings tab, it is a command and a group. Start mail merge, start mail merge. All right, so if you have this and you have your name on it, let's go ahead, and I'm going to go back to mine that I had unfilled out. There you go. I'm gonna start with this one. Make sure it's all correctly spelled to make sure everything is correct. And let's save it. File, save as in your OneDrive. And we're saving everything under this Microsoft image. Oh, we shouldn't have orientation here anymore. Let's right click on this and let's hit rename. We are now calling this Microsoft Word Imagine. And you're going to put your period. I'm going to put period 0 because that's what I'm calling it. But if you're in third period, use third period. If you're in fourth period, use fourth period. Okay. All right. I'm still saving. So I'm going to click on Microsoft Word Imagine. We're in M1. And we want to save it right here. It's L1 right here. Save it as L1 T1 trilocate element starter. I already had it saved with another class, but you're going to hit save and it will be your first time. It will save. I'm going to not replace I'll replace my 16 file. Sure. My auto save is going to turn on and I am done with this document. It is saved. And so I feel comfortable enough that I can exit out now. Now I'm back to the student guide. So in the student guide, we just did this. We just did the follow the directions, and now we're in topic 2. Topic 2 talks about the ribbon display. I worked ahead and already did that because I knew it was coming. We've already hid the ribbon, so we don't have to do that. Managing the ribbon layout. Okay, that's what we just did. So we are ahead and coming on down, we can collapse the ribbon. We've already played with that. And where it looks like we are in our new resources. So L1 T2 Tri-Farm Starter Doc. Okay, L1 T2 Tri-Farm Starter Doc. This is basically just going to open so that you can play with the ribbon display options, but we want to keep everything together and make sure that we have everything in our files. So let's go ahead and go back and open up our Schoology. Look for L1 T2 Tri-Farm Starter Doc. It's going to open up in your downloads. And this is just a chance for you to work with your ribbon display, which we've done already because we did it we did this in our student guide. So let's practice saving it again. So we're going to hit File, Save As, OneDrive. Go down to Microsoft Word Imagine, period 0, M1, and we're going to just save it right here. Save. Because we don't really need to do anything to this one, we're going to go ahead and move on. We're going to X out and hit topic 3. So if I'm going too fast, please push pause and rewind. I do kind of jump ahead because there's so many things I just want to show you. And when it comes up, I just feel like I need to put that out there. So I'm sorry for making topic 2 so easy. Let's go to topic 3. All right, ribbon contextual tabs, which we've already discussed. They pop up here. They're going to be blue instead of black. There's a picture format that pops up just because I'm in the picture. Groups of commands. So I feel very comfortable. We've covered groups of commands, but just in case, there's the font, and we're going to do some things with the font in the next activity. Bold, text, highlight, color. These are all in here. We'll discuss a bunch of those when we get to our next activity. And there's a sticky note, something. We want to go ahead and move on. And our wrap up. Oh, are we done already? We are done already. So that is the end of lesson 1. It was pretty easy. So go ahead and take these wrap up questions and jot down what's the quickest way to collapse a ribbon, commands and tabs. The title bar displays which of the following. The ribbon tab that selects groups of commands that manage or track changes. Tools is the blank. And number 4, to manage the fonts, effects, and colors of your document. Go ahead and push pause and find your answers to those, and I will give you those answers when you come back. All right, the answers to the wrap-up. Well, number 1, the quickest way is the auto hide ribbon. So we know where that is. We worked with that. Number 2, the title bar displays which of the following. Well, the title bar has the name of the current active file because it's right there. Number 3, the ribbon tab displays groups of commands to manage track changes and proofing tools. That is the review tab. So the review tab has those groups of commands to track changes and proofing tools. It's review. And number 4, to manage the fonts, effects, and colors of your document, you use which tab? All right, so that finishes up lesson 1. I'm going to go ahead and end it, and then I'll see you on lesson 2.